Good morning, Madison County. You just heard the Sassers perform Night Before Christmas. It's live with Ann Lurleen, with your host, Ann Lurleen Jackson.
Thank you, Shug. Well, good morning, Madison County. You're watching the Live with Ann Lurleen show. I'm your hostess, Lurleen Jackson, and sitting next to me is my darling husband, Ed. Say hello, Shug.
Hello.
We are coming to you live from our studio, from our den in St. Paul, Arkansas. Now, as you know, we usually have our show down at the community center, but wouldn't you know it, up comes a freak snowstorm, and we're forced to do our show down here. Luckily, my nephew CJ is a technical genius and got us all set up down here in our den. Thank you, Shug.
Whatever.
Now, before we get to all our talking and guests, I'd like to say a big old thank you to our studio audience this morning. They're the New Life Baptist Church Choir, and they were on their way to sing at the Mall of Fayetteville when their bus broke down, so we lured them in with some hot chocolate and told them they were in for a treat. Aren't they glad we didn't put them down in the basement? They would have needed a whole mess of bug spray.
And if you see a squirrel or a raccoon, I got a baseball bat over there in the corner. They like to come in here sometimes to get warm. If you're squeamish, just lift your feet up off the floor.
You know, that reminds me of a story.
Here we go.
So last night, about 5, I kept hearing these noises outside, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me what it was. So I put my boots on and I went out to see what that noise was. I can't even say what it sounded like. Kind of like a wait, wait, wait!
I told her it was probably an owl or a raccoon.
So I went outside and there was this raccoon.
I told her.
Well, I tell you what, I've been keeping some Guinness for a few months now, and I did not want no raccoon getting to my birds. So I went outside and there he was in a tree. And I was looking at him and he was looking at me. So I grabbed Ed's shotgun.
I told her to leave him alone, but obviously she doesn't listen to me.
So I grabbed Ed's shotgun and I pointed it right at that critter and I shot at him!
She missed!
I did! I wasn't but 7 feet away from that critter and I missed. So I shot at him again.
She missed.
I did! Man, that critter was just looking at me like I was crazy! Finally, he just wandered off. I let him go.
He'll be back.
Well, I'm sure of it. And I'll be waiting. That reminds me of our recent cookbook I had published called I Shot It From My Kitchen Window.
Now that's our second cookbook. Be sure to pick up our first cookbook. I found it on I-30.
That's got Ed's Mama's sweet potato casserole in it. Something we're going to be making today on our show.
You can find our books down at Brenda's Books and Bake Shop off Highway 23.
And while we're on the subject of books, y'all know Ed and I have been married for a long time.
37 years.
You go on! It's been 18 years. But people always ask us, Ed and Lurleen, what's your secret? So we wrote a little book about love and marriage called Shut Up Already! Now let's get to the announcements of what's going on around town. We start off the show with witty chit-chat about what we did last night, like Regis and Kelly.
But you know what I did last night.
You're supposed to pretend that I don't.
Well, that's about the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Ed, how long have we been doing this?
Too long.
Ed.
About 9 years.
Yes, about 9 years. And in that time, have you not learned what the format is?
Hon, people know that we are married and that every night we eat our supper, And then we sit down and watch The Wheel and CSI, and you work your little crossword puzzle, and I fall asleep in the lazy boy.
Well, fine. Let's talk about the announcements of what's going on around town.
I got the paper right here. Had to take the shovel with me this morning to find it.
Oh, good. Well, let's see here.
Looks like our high school football team isn't doing too well this year.
Yeah, bless their hearts. They've been working so hard. Let's see what else.
Looks like Roy's cows are mysteriously being shot at again.
Oh my, poor Roy. He's just flabbergasted.
Yeah, but I know who it is.
Nuh-uh.
Oh yes, them Tyler boys got new bow and arrows, and they have property right next to Roy's.
Now, Ed, you can't say that when you don't know for sure.
Oh, I know. 6 arrows sticking out of a cow's behind don't lie. And I'm watching you boys.
Oh, well. Oh, look, Lana Brooks is getting married.
Lonnie? Isn't he that guy that talks to mailboxes?
Yeah. How about that?
I guess there's someone for everybody.
I guess so. Now, before we get to our guests, I want to be sure y'all know about what's going on around town. It is time once again to put on your Santa hats and go on down to the Smack Over Christmas Festival of Lights, sponsored this year by Madison County First United National Bank. I tell you what, downtown looks absolutely beautiful.
Looks like Christmas threw up all over the square.
It's so pretty! And there's lots of exciting activities planned. Go ahead, Ed.
Don't miss the Miss Jingle Bells pageant to be held at the Johnny Cash Elementary Cafeteria. Miss Jingle Bells 2011, Connie Cheatham will relinquish her crown to the new Miss Jingle Bells.
Connie's so pretty. Her mama owns a beauty box on 15th, and so Connie's hair was always perfect.
Her hairdo's a sin, if you ask me. And she didn't win last year on account of her looks anyway.
Ed, you hush up right now.
Marla Lathers was supposed to win, but she didn't because of that incident involving her cigarette lighter and a UPS truck.
Now, for all you kiddos, Santa Claus will be on the square Friday night. He's going to be riding up in his sleigh with all his presents for the good girls and boys. The festival will continue with a baking and preserves contest.
That's right. My wife, Lurlene's chocolate cake is to die for. When you bite into that rich, moist slice of heaven, you can't help but linger on its decadence. Why, if it were up to me, she'd win the blue ribbon for best cake in the whole world.
Ed! You are so sweet for saying that!
We also have a couple of announcements here from First Baptist Church. Auditions for their Christmas service are going to be held tomorrow night. Hon, I think you ought to go down and audition for that. You've been wanting to get into acting for as long as I can remember.
No, I don't know about that. You really think I should?
Oh yes, they have rehearsals every night for 2 whole weeks. That would be just perfect for me. I mean, perfect for you.
Hey Jackson, are you trying to get rid of me?
Yes.
What?
I love you.
Now, we'd like to wish a very happy birthday to Emma Jane Graham. Today, she turned 72.
Also, happy anniversary to Larry and Jane Leonard on their 91st wedding anniversary. Their 16th wedding anniversary.
Also, I need to announce that the annual Christmas fundraiser for the Volunteer Fire Department has been moved to the Hillary Clinton Civic Center.
Yeah, they had to move it because the firehouse burned down.
Now, Ed, we weren't going to mention that. Carl's already embarrassed enough about that as it is.
Well, if he hadn't been trying to dirt her nest with Roman candles.
Well, that's all the announcements we have for today. Let's go ahead and bring out our first guests. Fresh off their national tour.
National? They've not even been out of the state of Arkansas.
Ed, they've been to Texarkana on the Texas side, thus national. off their national tour promoting their newest CD, This Does For You. Please give a big round of applause for the Duds.
Well, hey y'all, it's so good to be here.
It's so good to have you, and that you made it out here in this blizzard.
Well, anytime you tell this one that she's gonna be on TV, you'd better get out of the way. She'd have liked to mow down Fred Mason in the 4x4.
I honked. Anyway, we are delighted to be here.
Well, that's just wonderful. All right. Hey, Shug. You look so handsome.
We're gonna have to take a commercial break right now, but we'll be back.
And we're clear.